Okay, YouTube, what's going on, man? What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Eyes and Ears Tactical, back in the building. Want to wish everybody, what is it, Wednesday? Yeah, happy Wednesday, January 25th. Hope everybody's doing well. And as you guys know, a lot of stuff going on. I just want to come on and touch upon a few things. And I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, man. I mean, everybody saw nationwide. I've been watching all y'all channels, y'all latest episodes. So we know about the mass shooting in Monterey Park, Southern California, outside of Los Angeles, and we know about the mass shooting up there at Half Moon Bay. Both areas I'm very, very familiar with. So I'm not going to go into all that. I'm going to go into a couple little things that I want to point out with things that we should be focusing on. We're going to talk a little bit about the cultures of those communities. I'm gonna give you the lay of the land of the surrounding areas. I'm gonna try to give you some insights on the people in those areas and what's going on, because I do have insight with that area, and I do have insight with the Asian population because I grew up with a lot of Asian, Filipino, Korean, Chinese. So like I said, I'm from Chicago. Moved out to the West Coast when I was young. Landed in the Bay Area. If anybody know about the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, very multicultural area. So that's why I can speak upon these things. And not to mention, I've been living in California for over 30-something years. So, but yeah, man, very, very, very tragic. I mean, I want to say first thing I'm gonna start off with is God bless those people lost their lives, and I pray for their families and their relatives and loved ones, people who cared about them. I'm very, very sad that happened. And I wish nothing but the best for you guys, and hope you can find some peace one day. I know it's got to be tough for you people right now, but yeah, man, my heart's with you. My heart's with them people, man, because we're all Americans. We're all here together. Even if they're not Americans, I'm a human, and so everybody's my relative. That's the way I look at life. That's the way I was taught by my mother. We're all descendants of humans, race, species, so we're all relatives, regardless of like skin color, creed, all that stuff. So when somebody dies, tragically lose their life, I feel it just as if it's my own relatives, because it could be me or someone in my family. So you got to show that love, give people that respect before it comes down to your life, and your relatives. So that's my speech on that part. As far as acknowledging the tragedy, I'm not going to get into the politics, and you guys already talked about it. The assault, pistol, verbiage, language, and all that stuff. Man, it's a bunch of crap, man. That's nothing new, so I'm not even going to bother that. If you know anything about politics and U.S. history and gun control and any other control at prohibition, anything, man, couldn't wear your hair a certain way. So language the language they use to change laws have always been a tool. Linguistic acrobatics, or whatever you want to call it, using the dictionary to manipulate a situation to benefit a certain cause. That's old to me, man. I do that. I do that in general public. I mean, I use my word manipulation to get through situations. When I'm with my homeboys that I grew up, yeah, we might use a little slang and stuff like that. But when I get into a certain setting, I change that up. So it's no difference. Lawyers, they do the same thing. Lawmakers and bill makers, they start changing the language. So they stick assault behind basically a semi-automatic weapon, and now all of a sudden it's an assault weapon because it has a capacity over 10 rounds. So, that's just language. I'm just here to tell you guys, as a California resident, giving you a pulse of what's going on. Media-wise, I don't know where you guys getting all your information from, and all these networks talking about, what happened. Man, ain't nobody out here talking about nothing. I ain't seen nothing on the news. All they talking about, I'm in South San Diego, and I'm right down the street from Monterey Park. I was just in Fullerton, California on Sunday from one of my daughter's softball games. She had 3 games up in Fullerton on Sunday. So I was right beside Monterey Park on Sunday. I didn't get up there Saturday, but I'm just telling you how close I was to the event, to the shooting. But for the most part, even on Sunday, people were talking, but life just kept moving along. And I'll get to why I'm bringing that up. People were like, man, that's crazy. But then, things just kept going. And that's that whole Los Angeles community. That's the big inner city community. A lot of people are immune to tragedy and to death. And so you don't really get a pulse for something like that, really, unless you are directly affected by it, or you have a kind heart, or you have passion. And even if you do, a lot of people still don't express it. So you can't judge nobody if they don't. I always say, like, you go to church, someone die, And people are, look, crying. The other person sitting there like this, and someone says like, oh man, why he ain't crying? He must not care. That's not the way that works, man. You can't judge what's in another person's heart and how they feel about things. Everybody handle things differently. But anyway, back on point. Yeah, man. So we have, that area up there. It's a very diverse area. A lot of Asian, Filipino, Latino, Mexican, a little bit of everything. Monterey Park, if you know anything about it. And so that's very tragic. But the language and the way they're changing everything up, that's California been doing that for a while. Ever since Gavin Newsom became governor, he's been changing his script, doing different things. That dude was caught in a sex scandal when he was the mayor of San Francisco. I was in the Bay Area when Gavin Newsom was the mayor of San Francisco. So I know Gavin Newsom as far as like his track record and stuff. He's a slime bag. He's always been a slime bag. He's always lied, cheating on people, sleeping with other motherfuckers' wives and shit while in office. He's a dirtbag. So he changes his script. He changes his colors whenever he need be. Matter of fact, after Uvalde, when he came out talking about banning all this, banning all that, that fool was being escorted around with two cats with M6 with AR-15s. So don't listen to Gavin Newsom. Yeah, he got power. He can push some shit through. But the next person come in. Traditionally, governors in this state has always been a little bit more on the Republican, on the red side. So don't let any of that fool you. Ain't nobody nervous. Ain't nobody destroying no pistol braces out here. Ain't nobody doing none of that shit. Because the reason why, you got to understand when it comes to that legislation, all that gun law stuff in the state of California, this is a state with 34 million people. Who knows how many it really is when you talk about illegal immigrants on the daily. So for Sacramento, and if you've never even been in California, Sacramento is the capital of California, and it's a shithole. Yeah, I said it. I got relatives up there, and I'll say it again. Sacramento is a shithole. It ain't nothing but a little farm, little town. They got a little Sacramento King basketball team up there. They got a couple minor league baseball teams that do very well, affiliates of the A's and other organizations. They pump a lot of stars out of their minor league teams. They got minor league hockey. They got a lot of minor league stuff up there. They got University of Pacific, very academically prestigious college, UOP. Okay, what else they got up there? Matter of fact, I take that back. UOP is not even in Sacramento. It's in Stockton, a little city outside of Sacramento. So they got Sacramento State University, Sears Point Raceway. I think it's just a little farm town. A lot of wealth. Don't get me wrong, because it's farmers, it's land. But it floods out like right now it's all flooded, and they got issues. They got an airport out there. Yeah, good and fine, dandy. But for the most part, San Francisco, Bay Area, Silicon Valley, Los Angeles run this state, okay? Not even San Diego. San Diego don't got no global impact on no economy. San Diego ain't got that. All they got is this basic tourism and warm weather. That's all we got. We got 72 degrees for you, 355 days out the year, 10 days of bad weather, counting. Maybe we had about 14 so far this year, which is crazy because all the rain. But yeah, all we got is tourism. SeaWorld, the zoo, Balboa Park, that's Petco Park, the water, the beaches, all that. You got all the historical museums and all that kind of stuff. That's about it, man. So, but Half Moon Bay, now the other shooting was in Half Moon Bay, which is the Central Coast, which is a little, depends on how you look at it. It's north of Santa Cruz or south of San Francisco. So it sits right on the coast, right below, if you know the Bay Area, when you come over to Palo Alto, off the Dumbarton Bridge, San Mateo Bridge. Once you come out of San Mateo County, and then you go inside of where Stanford University and Facebook Corporation, that they're right there in a little city called Atherton/Palo Alto. It's two sides of Palo Alto. So you will hear people say East Palo Alto, EPA, and then you'll hear PA. Now EPA, I'm just gonna keep it real. That's where all the bruh's at, and that's the bad part, so to speak. Okay, Palo Alto itself is the richer part. Now, Stanford University sits inside the city of Palo Alto, but if anybody's ever been out there, will tell you that Stanford University is not in Palo. Stanford is its own community. It's called the Farm. Okay, so, and they're a little bitty community built inside of Palo Alto. So once you go to Stanford, you are actually in Stanford world. You're not in Palo Alto more. So I just want to give you a lay of the land. And if you keep going south off the Highway 1 coast, you will come up to Half Moon Bay, great little beach town. I went there many times, go there all the time when I live in the Bay Area, take my kids there. They grew up going to those beaches. Matter of fact, if you're a surfer or you like watching big waves, Half Moon Bay is where Mavericks is. It's an annual event. Some people never heard of it, the Mavericks Surf Competition. huge waves, 30-foot waves and 50-foot waves, all that kind of stuff, crazy stuff. People, surfer die usually all the time because some guys come from all over the world to try to ride those waves and they lose their life, but that's the way they want to go out. So that's Half Moon Bay. Great fishing, all that kind of stuff. Water, great landscape, beautiful scenery, great sunsets. Little beach town, little tiny, cute, little quaint beach town. So to hear that happen, I was very shocked, stunned. Even the demographics of the shooters. Asian guy, 71 years old in Monterey Park, and then this guy down here. So, that to me was kind of interesting. So that's the lay of those two areas right there. Half Moon Bay's little beach town, cute little beach town, south of San Francisco, north of Santa Cruz off the coast of Highway 1 in California. And Monterey Park is a little community, little inland, we want to say north or east, whatever you want to call it, north of Los Angeles. Hop, skip, and a jump from all this, Disneyland, all that kind of 20-minute drive, 15-minute drive. So that's where Monterey Park is, a nice little minority, little rural, little suburban community. And all these places are nice places to live. I mean, if you can afford to live in Half Moon Bay, they have big cliff houses and stuff. And, they crumble the cliff out there, so take your chances with that. But that's the lay of the land. Now, what I wanted to address was I saw a lot of tubers. One second, guys, let me get this all. Cheers to everybody, man. I hope y'all having a good time. What I want to say is that I'm watching the 2A community trying to pick and figure out, ATF, this, that, pistol braces, they trying to take this away. Man, look, man, I'm here to tell y'all, man, don't worry about none of that shit. This is what we need to focus on. Because the lawmakers are going to do what they're going to do. Unless you got big pockets that you can go lobby and sit in there, push an agenda, drop some envelopes for some cats that can vote for you and change the way that legislation is being ran, you're wasting your time. All your commentary on this, that, and the other, nobody has a clue what's going to happen. All this is an agenda. Now, I've lived long enough. I've seen many elections. I've seen this old story before. Anytime it's election time, you start seeing people push crazy ass bills. I graduated high school in '87, so I remember say no to drugs and all this kind of stuff. Man, that shit had no impact. There was more drugs out there under the Reagan administration in the history of drugs. And Nancy Reagan was the one who started the Just Say No to Drug campaign. So Gavin Newsom out there saying, ban this, ban that. Man, look, that motherfucker changed his mind in 3 years once he lose office and go somewhere else and you find out, he in Tennessee over there, pro-gun. So don't put your energy on all these people. They're all a bunch of cowards, losers, and they all are pencil pushers trying to, they're just trying to raise their evaluation, so to speak, in their careers. Now, this is what we should do. The 2A community and everybody, not just 2A. First of all, let's just start with California. Everybody here should go get a gun if you don't have one, and go get your concealed carry permit. Okay, so now that would be the first start, because clearly we have people who don't have any regard for the law, not only in California, but in the United States. So let's not act like this is exclusively to California. Back-to-back mass shootings, yeah, we get it. But, that can happen anywhere. I think we all can agree that can happen anywhere, and it has happened anywhere, and has happened in some of the most obscure communities and situations. We've seen mosques get shoot up. We saw churches get shoot up. We've seen elementary schools get shoot up. We've seen junior high schools get shoot up. We've seen high schools get shoot up. So to say a beach town is immune to a shootout, no. To say a suburban Latino community or Asian community is immune to a mass shooting, nope. So we saw 9/11. So we can't be sitting and like, oh man, I can't believe this. No, if you've been in America for a extensive amount of time, and this is shocking to you, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. So that's my take on that part. Is we need to all unite. 2A, even the gun tubers, man. It's just, if there's any time you want to support anybody, you watch all those videos, man. Click, like, subscribe for everybody. And make sure you supporting everybody and saying positive stuff. So when ATF come through here trying to, take our stuff away from YouTube, which they probably gonna try and all that, at least we'll have positive content and we can push back and say, why would you be taking someone back from saying, hey man, show respect for the police when they pull you over. Hey man, show respect for the fire department. Hey man, when you're in public, help out an old lady, If you see somebody shady, get on your phone and take a picture of them. If you don't want to get involved, take a picture and send it to the police real quick so they can track this fool down if you think he's doing something wrong. So, or if you saw them doing something wrong, don't be going out there accusing people of stuff unless you got facts. But you get where I'm going, man. There's a lot of things we can do other than starting to divide. And don't get into the race thing. Oh, it's an Asian dude. Why they don't put Asian dudes up? But when a white dude do it, don't get into all that stuff, man. We know who's doing all these crimes. We know the majority of what it is and all that. And let the majority plays itself out. So we don't need to point that out. Have I heard of any Asian dudes 71 years old doing mass shootings? Nope, not really. Have I known many white guys? Not known, but have I heard of white guys between the ages of 17 and 45 doing mass shootings? Absolutely. Does that mean that every white guy 17 to 45 is a mass shooter or terrorist or a domestic terrorist? No, they're not. That's ignorant thinking. So, a lot of that is just statistics and analytics. I think if you polled white men white guys between 17, 18, and 45 owning guns, I would like to believe, and not being an idiot, they have a higher percentage of gun ownership. Now, if you went to the black community and with African American men, 18 to 45 gun ownership, it would be very low for a lot of reasons. But the point that I'm getting at, of course, they're going to have more people doing more crimes with guns because they have more people that own guns, and they have just as many crazy people as we have. It's just that we don't have guns, and when we do get them, they're in a legal format, or there's in a format of struggle or oppression or economics depression, and you're trying to make money, so now you got to have a gun to protect yourself on the street selling drugs and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why people have guns, own guns, and a lot of them are using the wrong intention. This has been used in the wrong intention. This has been used in the wrong. A knife is used in the wrong intention. A cigarette lighter, a can of gasoline. Imagine a can of gasoline can burn down a whole apartment complex without the right appropriate reaction to it or speedy response. So let's stop acting like that these are just so deadly that we need to ban them and take them away. What about motherfuckers driving drunk, crashing into people? Domestic violence, dirty police officers setting people up. There's a lot of crimes that go on and people do stuff that are destructive to the human race, but we don't sit there and say, ban that, take that away. Now, people did say defund the police, which I was totally against that. I'm not saying I love every cop. I love the good cops. I love the police officers and people in law enforcement that do it by the book, the right way, treat everybody equal. They don't care what color, race they are, what part of town they are. They're going to enforce the law as they see the law need to be enforced, and also enforce the law with compassion being part of that. But you go pull a gun on a cop or something like that, if I'm a cop, I'm lighting your ass up too. It's plain and simple. Ain't no questions asked. I tell you, put your hands. I say hands up. You got a gun. You still point at me. You're going now. Night. Dirt nap coming soon. So no, I don't get mad at those cops when they have to take lethal force and they already showed compliance and saying, hey, put your hands down, drop the gun, get on the ground, all that kind of little stuff. So all that hating and defund the police, that's where we're at right now. You keep talking that defund the police, all you're going to do is defund your home and everything you love, because all the bad guys are going to start coming in because they know the cops ain't going to show up because y'all voted them out. Y'all don't want to pay them. I'm seeing it right down here. So let me give you some prices on law enforcement in California in case anybody want to know what they pay in California to be a cop. So let's start from the top. San Francisco police officers, I don't know. I'm not going to quote what they make, but I can tell you Oakland Police Department, last time I checked, they were close to $85,000 to $90,000 a year. Okay. Now, you got to be careful. The surrounding big cities in California are not paying as much as the suburbs are. Okay. So keep that number in mind, 90,000 for Oakland Police Department, Oakland, California. I'm not going to quote SFPD, but I got a funny feeling they are lower than Oakland. So let's keep moving. Now, in the Bay Area, let's take the police department in the suburbs that probably none of you guys never heard of. Let's take a city called Danville, California. Now, their law, or San Ramon, California. Okay, so let me give you some insight. What I do know to be fact. Okay, a lot of the inner city cops in the Bay Area, San Francisco and Oakland, do not live there, like several other metropolitan cities, which is the biggest problem with policing. I think, since off top, I hate to say it, if you a cop and you apply to a metro city, a metro police department, your ass should have to live in the city. Now, in the hood, like in the ghetto project, no, I'm not saying that. But you need to at least live in that area code. Same way if you run for a district council or something like that, you got to live in that district. I don't know if that's across the nation, but I know in the Bay Area, San Francisco particularly, you have to live in that district, okay, to run for that seat. And I think cops should be in that same boat. And then you'll see a lot of that misuse of a power kind of go away, because it's going to be hard to fuck somebody over that lives right down the street for you, and you got to see them when you're not at work. See what I'm saying? So what happens is SFPD officers and OPD officers, like SFPD officers, don't live in San Francisco. They usually live in Marin or another city called San Mateo or something like that, or Santa Rosa. They'll live out there in wine country and drive all the way in across the Golden Gate Bridge. They ain't paying for the bridge fee anyway, so they don't give a shit. So that's where they will live. Now, Oakland police officers tend to live, not all of them, tend to live out in a city called San Ramon and Danville. Okay, so they live out, and that's like 25-30 minute drive outside of Oakland. Now, moving down south, Los Angeles police officers, for the most part, they get a decent salary. I don't know what theirs is, I'm not going to quote it, but I don't think it's the highest in the state, because the reason why I know that to be, matter of fact, I will quote LAPD. I think they are a little under 80,000, somewhere right around there, maybe 90. Somebody can find out for me. But I do know this: Beverly Hills PD is starting you, because what they do, and I don't know about the whole country, but in California, the law enforcement here, they can do lateral movements where they can go from LAPD and then move over to Beverly Hills PD, and Beverly Hills PD will give you a bonus, a bump in your pay. So they giving you like $100,000 to leave LAPD, and so that's what's going on. Because I just saw an ad the other day, it came up on my resume thing. I don't know why, because I got a little background. I ain't gonna say, but I got a little background, and they were, say, hey, would you? I'm like, first of all, I'm too old, motherfucker. It's an age limit with the academy, so I don't know how the hell they send me that shit. But yeah, they wanted to start you off like $100,000 in Beverly Hills Police Department. And same here in San Diego. San Diego, here's what's crazy with San Diego. San Diego has the lowest pay for municipal employees in the state of California, and in some cases, almost in the nation. And if someone don't know what that means firemen, police officers, police officers, city workers, I guess, I don't know, municipal, whoever else falls into that category, they don't get paid shit down here. San Diego police officers are the lowest paid in the state of California, and the fire department is the lowest paid in California. And what's crazy about the fire department, well, how scandalous that is, San Diego is where these guys are the first ones to get deployed when a wildfire breaks out. Think about how fucked up that is. They send your ass out in the bush first when an inferno break out, but you the lowest paid fire department in the state. Whereas the guys up in Northern California and the Sierras and all those little small rural areas and stuff like Tahoe, well, not Tahoe, that's in Nevada, but Tahoe in California, but once you get it to the border, those departments get paid a little bit more money because they do a lot of volunteer services, but they get kickbacks. So that's just a lay of the land. So when you're around San Diego, I'll be honest with you, I work in La Jolla, California, beautiful little tourist city. I work right in a tech area, so I work in tech, and man, I mean, you don't see cops in tech, period, on these little tech campuses. I ain't gonna say exactly the company I work for, but if you figure it out, I don't give a shit, but I'm not gonna say it. But you don't never see cops there anyway. But what's crazy, when you go to the beach towns, wherever, anywhere you go, you don't see cops in San Diego. And part of it, because I know a couple officers, and somebody told me, but just basically straight up say, man, we don't rush out no more. Because when they started talking all that defund me stuff, when George Floyd got murdered by Derek Chauvin, by the Minneapolis police officer, murdered him on live video, and then everybody went nuts and stuff like that, like they should, as they should, and people got kind of ahead of their stuff, talking about, cancel the police, defund, because of one cop. Well, you could say 2 or 3 cops. We could say it was a behavior maybe on that force. We could surmise all that stuff, but all we have with our eyes is to tell us the truth was that it was one cop murdered this man. Okay, did some in compliance he didn't do anything about it? Absolutely. But to say defund the whole fucking police department, and what's crazy about that, people, the people who yell defund the police, them motherfuckers don't even own guns. So when shit hit the fan, they gonna be the first one to get murked by a bad guy. So that's my rant on those little things right there, guys. I mean, just think about what you're saying And stay away from the race baiting. Stay away from Democrat, Republican. Stay away from Asian mass shooter, white mass shooter, African American, like the DC sniper and all that. I mean, we got everybody in this country has been a mass shooter culturally. You know what I'm saying? Think about what all the Arab and the Muslim people go through who do everything right every day in their life. And they have to like look at police crazy just like sometimes a hardworking black man do. You know what I'm saying? So everybody gets a bit of this bullshit in America. So, and that's why I said on one of my videos, I don't know if y'all watched my videos, but I said this a week before the Monterey Park shooting that the crime is up, smash and grabs is up, is getting more brazen. I've been telling you guys that for almost a month and a half because I see it. I pay attention to things. I mean, I'm in the general public, but I don't go out no more than I have to, but I don't go out paranoid. And part of the reason why I don't go out paranoid, because I keep this on me, okay? That'll calm your nerves a little bit. Now I will drop the mag. This is for YouTube purposes, so y'all can see. Ain't nothing in there. Safe direction, control environment. So yeah, that'll keep you. And then if that don't work, I got this. Okay, Glock 29. I keep it ready to go. So yeah. If you prepare, you ain't really if you prepare, you ain't really gotta sit there and be worried about what's gonna happen because if it happens, you are prepared. So that's why I double carry. Okay, that's why I double carry because you only get 10 rounds in California, so you gotta work the system. Okay, work the system, work with it. Buy guns that you know are compliant. This is compliant. There's nothing they can really do this. If they want to, yeah, we don't want you to have a scope, whatever. Okay, fine. But this is a standard rifle. It's a hunting / sporting rifle. This is not an assault rifle. It's a bolt action rifle. It only has a four round mag capacity. Okay. It is empty. That's it. 4 rounds and can do major damage. So I'm content. If something ever happened, I know I can, shit hit the fan. I know I can go out and hunt, take care of my family, get me a deer or elk or something if I go up in the high country. Okay. Got the Vortex scope on there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really that nervous. This is in compliance. So I'm hearing a lot of people complain about what they can't get. And the one thing we have to get away from, man, as Americans, as the most part, is stop worrying about what you can't have. I just really hate that. I'm a softball coach. I'm a dad, and my daughter plays softball. And the one thing I hate when kids say was what they don't have. Worry about what you have. Make what you have work. Do the best of what you have. Pray for better or pray for more, but don't be sitting there complaining. So yeah, I'm in California. Whoa. I could be in a lot worse places, okay, without a gun. But I got a whole arsenal. Okay? I got my AR, this is empty. You can see. Radiant Raptor. Oh, that's my thing. Got the Radiant Raptor charging handle. Vortex, Crossfire, red dot. Okay. Little sling. Magpul pop-up sight. So is it what all the guys got? Back. This is DPMS, by the way. So is it one of the Free State AR with all the bells and whistles, pistol grip, all that stuff? No, it's not. But it's legal. It's mag comp. Now you got this one. How you get all these features is that it's mag comp. So I have to have a fixed mag inside of here to operate this in California. And when I transport, I got to pop that pin out and separate the two upper from the lower. Yeah, that's kind of a hassle. But if I want to carry a rifle in my car, I can have it separated in my car and be legal with the fixed mag in here screwed in. I showed you guys that before. Do I have my mag? I got it right here. So when I'm in my house, I can have it like this. But Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I can't transport it like this, so if I had to jump out, I have to put the pin in and boom, 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 and get busy. But it's not really the end of the world, guys, because I can always have this in my truck, in my back of my car. Okay, so if something pop off in the general public, and I got a beat on this dude, I can phone the police, say, hey sir, I'm over here by this garbage can. I got my 308. I got line of sight. Do you want me to take him out? Or he's over here murdering several people. He just shot, 9 people or whatever. But I got a line of sight of him with my 308. I'm in deep cover. Okay, I got my 308 rounds. You see those? That's for penetration. Okay, these are 308. So I'll pick some of these up, and I got up. So I've been stockpiling 308. So I got that 100 here. I'm trying to get this to 100. And so it's been tough because it's expensive, and I ain't trying to get in trouble with my wife, so I can't be buying a lot of that stuff. So, but yeah, so the 308, I got the 308 officer. Did you want me to take the shot? Did you want me to put him down? I got him in the crosshairs. I'm a trained marksman. I'm legally armed. I'm legally able to carry a pistol concealed. But I have a 16-inch 308 Savage rifle, and I got a line of sight, and I got a nice round for him. Did you want me to take him out, sir? So there's a lot of ways you can help the general public by having a rifle in your truck, in your car, if you're in a controlled state where you can't have an ARP. Okay. For you guys don't know all those abbreviations, that's an AR pistol or something like that. So just carry this around in California. Put one of those in there, or put one of these in here. Now you throw this in your truck, and if you got a line of sight on them, you got time to put this together and go ahead and get them. Keep both of them in your car, okay? So you never know what you may need. So that's an option. Start carrying a rifle around, because when these mass shooting stuff happen, man, not one person had a gun. Not one person. And all you needed was one little bullet to take that coward down. This $2 bullet could have ended that, saved all those people's lives. But I bet you everybody had an iPhone, everybody had a GoPro, everybody had all this stuff, $1,000 phone, but don't got a gun. And talk shit about gun owners. But time they need it, they wish they had it, but it's too late then. So God rest those people's souls. They should be alive. All they needed was a gun. So just one person. You saw the video with the guy in the restaurant where the guy came in there trying to rob them, and he got the beat on him and blasted him. I'm like, man, for sure, man. Shout out to that cat. So that's what I got, man. Like, if you're in a controlled state, man, start buying guns that you can buy. Stop worrying about what Georgia can do, what Florida can do, what Texas can do. We all know what those states can do. They free. They can do whatever they want. Start getting you some pistols. Shit, this is my bed on my nightstand. Glock 21. Definitely got the Funky Town Centers up in there for him. Okay, 285 grain hollow. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is 185. 185 hollow point. Okay, so Funky Town Center 101 right here. Get you one of these. These are legal all day. Got 1,000 lumen light on there. Got the strobe. So. Man, they ain't trying to. This is not. Now this is clear. Control direction. So, yeah, guys, you don't need to worry about the rest of this stuff. I don't even got no optics. Nothing. I don't got nothing on there. Happy. So find your happiness inside of your control state. It's a lot of great guns you can get. I love this gun right here. Glock 34. Get into competition shooting. Gen 3. This is legal. California. So it's a great pistol. It is unloaded. It's a great pistol, Go ahead and get you one of these. Start getting in competition. Have fun. Like, stop crying about what you can't have. Stop crying what you can't have. Start off slow. Get you one of these. Or get you a Glock 19. You in California. Get you some nice iron sights. True glows. Okay? 10 rounds. Great little pistol. Clear. Okay, get you a Glock 19. Okay, so there's a lot of great little pistols, and these are all Gen 3s. And I'm gonna let you guys know, Gen 3 ain't that bad, because the beautiful part about Gen 3 is it's the most versatile generation of all the generations. See how those are the same size? So they sit the same holsters, all that. This got 3 barrels in here. I got a 350. I don't have it coming yet. I have a 9mm conversion barrel, and I have a 357 SIG conversion barrel coming, and then I have 9mm for the Glock 23. So I have 3 calibers in one pistol. Gen 4s and 5s don't have the versatilities of the Gen 3s, guys. Sorry, Gen 3s are the way to go. They have the most versatility. The only thing they don't have is the modular system. They don't have the slide plate cut and all that, so you got to cut every slide or buy a slide cut or whatever you're gonna do. But I'm old, so I'm always gonna be iron sights. So guys, don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about gun regulations, all that stuff. You'll be just fine. What we need to do, what we need to work on, is supporting all the YouTuber channels, pumping them up, positive thing. If your content's a little janky, little sketchy, clean up a little bit. Positive, positive, positive. Support the NRA, support law enforcement, positive, good law enforcement. And definitely vote on your city council. Make sure you know what you're doing. And if you don't own a gun, buy a gun. So I'm speaking specifically to people who live in restricted states. And another thing, these restricted state things, I want to just touch upon this. Guys, just because you're in California, you hear all this bullshit in the news. There's counties all around here, King County, Kern County, all these counties, they're rural, man. I don't know if everybody's actually been to California. So I suggest people who've never been here, stop talking about it. Because when y'all talk about it, it's clear that you've never been to California. Because y'all watch too much TV. All y'all think is LA and the beaches. Bro, once you get outside of LA, San Francisco, any other big city in California, it's the sticks, homie. San Diego's a desert. Los Angeles is a desert. So once you out of Los Angeles, you head up to Palmdale. Dude, that's all desert. The Mojave, you ever heard of the Mojave Desert? Okay, you ever heard of Death Valley? Where it can be 130 degrees in a day and it can drop down to -10 in the same fucking 24-hour day. So stop playing like you know California, because you guys don't. This state is vast, wide, and rugged. It's got rugged country, mountains, everything. I live in San Diego. Hey, man, no cap. I can be sitting right here. I can get to the beach in 12 minutes and it'll be 70-something degrees. Water will be 69, 67 in the winter right now. I can get in that same car, leave that beach, head to the desert, go up to Joshua Tree in the middle of the desert and be 30 degrees. I can go up to Mount Laguna and get snow in 45 minutes. So it's very vast, guys. I can be in Arizona. I could be in Yuma, Arizona right now in 5 hours. Okay, 3 hours. 3 hours, right. I can be in Phoenix in 6 hours. So we live in a diverse state, man. So when y'all be saying like, oh, that, yeah, woo, I know we got all these different people and stuff, LGBTQ plus, all that, but yeah, we got everybody, but that's what makes us pretty cool. So with all that being said, stop thinking that all these voting, all this media stuff y'all hearing, those are only surrounded by the big city. Once you get outside those areas, man, these sheriffs aren't playing. There are a lot of, Daryl Issa is one of the congressmen out here in his county. They love guns. They don't have no rules. They let you, as long as you 500 yards away from a residential house, you can shoot wherever the fuck you want. Matter of fact, I went through one little city on my way to Vegas one time, and we stopped at the gas station, Taco Bell's, a gas station / Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all that shit. You know how they be all mixed up in one. It was a little fucked up ass little town. I ain't gonna lie. It's on the side of a mountain, like off the freeway, but people actually live there. I couldn't believe it. And a bunch of toothless, homeless looking cats all over the place and shit. Like, it looked like they met that. Man, it's a fucked up ass town. But the crazy part about it was some dude riding up on a quad, pulled up and got some beers, you know, because down in San Diego, you can't. They bought the ban 2-stroke engines and stuff in the state of California. I don't know if y'all know that. That's another topic. So lawnmowers and shit. So out here, people have to get the electric ones, the weed, the blowers and stuff. All got to be electric, you know. But they giving you rebates. So if you bring in your old shit, you can go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's, and they'll just give you the brand new shit with no cost. So that's the only good thing about it. But back to that little town. So on the side, when you come into the gas station, it has a sign that says no shooting guns by this area, because the reason why is no residents. It was only like gas stations and Taco Bell. So So they put that sign up to let people know, now don't try to play with the law thinking that you can shoot here because it has no residential houses there, because there was no residents around it, because it was a freeway and gas station and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of areas in California. We got areas where you can go dooning, shoot your guns. We can go out to the desert out here, El Centro, going toward Yuma, outside a city called Alpine, keep going east, 8 East. Man, you don't, do I look nervous? I ain't, man, ain't nobody gonna come take nothing, man. Y'all need to calm down with all that language. They all talking that shit in Sacramento. Come next year, they'll be talking a whole different thing. California, they don't know what the fuck they doing, like law-wise, and that's why the sheriffs and local DAs have more control over their cities than Sacramento does. So that's what I got for you guys on that, man. But so just unite. Everybody support the 2A. Again, if you're in a controlled state, get armed up, get trained up, and then you can protect your family. But far as like thinking you're gonna like do something that's gonna stop a mass shooting or something like that, man, it's probably not gonna happen, man. That's gonna be part of our culture, part of our society for eternity, because we're the one country that has the most guns. Whenever you live in a country with the most guns, you're gonna have the most people doing bad things with them. That's like we have the most cars, in California, so we have the highest auto insurance. Same thing. We have the most drunk drivers. We have the most fatal accidents. Anytime you're the most, you're always going to have the most of the worst. You don't get the most of the best, and then you get to throw out the most of the worst. That's not how it works. Whenever you got the numbers, you're always going to get both ends. It's kind of like in basketball. If you look at the all-time assist leader probably is the all-time turnover leader, because he always has the ball. So you might have a great ratio, it's a 5-to-1 assist ratio, but over a 20-year career, you probably have the most turnovers too, because you handle the ball the most. It's just like a home run hitter, other than Barry Bonds. Most of them, they got high strikeout ratios, but they have the most home runs. So that's just a little take on how you need to look at these gun numbers and these percentages and not get caught up on that everybody is a madman with a gun. And also, we need to stop using mental illness as an excuse for these mass shootings with the gun, because for some reason, when somebody gets drunk and go crash on the freeway and kill a mom, for example, the Raider football player, Henry Ruggs, when he crashed in Henderson, Nevada, doing 165 miles per hour with a loaded gun and a bottle of liquor. And this dude's a millionaire football player and killed that lady and her baby. I didn't hear nobody say, man, we need to ban football, ban the NFL, because, that's their player and that's their fault. So we should be able to I didn't hear nobody say, sue the Raiders and sue the NFL because he killed that lady. I don't even think our parents even said that. But they gonna let that lady sue Daniel Defense because the dude used that gun, or was it Remington, used that gun in Sandy Hook. God bless all those children, But my point is that was bullshit how they did that. I think it was Remington. So that's what pisses me off. We don't hold the same pressure under other devices that are used out of text in a malicious, heinous way, or it ends up in a fatality. We just don't hold them the same. We don't hold alcohol. Anheuser-Busch never been sued, and I wonder how many people who've killed somebody drunk driving had Anheuser-Busch or in their system, or Coors or Miller. See, that's the part of where it's hypocritical at right there. The same way a kid can go into the military, 18 years old, go into war, you can hand him a battle rifle, but he can't go in a bar and get a drink. So wait a minute, let me get this right. He can go kill somebody, but he can't go get a beer? Man, stop. That's why America, it's full of shit. And that's why I was trying to tell y'all in my last video, the reason why they're trying to take the guns away is because I think the Ukraine-Russian war, I don't know why they call it that. Russia's about to, Russia could have been squashed Ukraine. That's like trying to go in somebody's backyard and fight them. I don't know if y'all have been following that. I follow it very closely because I follow world politics, and that this is probably more important than people think in America. You guys got to understand this. If you guys do not understand it, understand this. We are totally in bed with China. China is totally in bed with Russia. We used to be totally in bed with Russia with oil. Now we pissed them off. Now we got a problem. So if NATO, which is Turkey, if we start sending tanks in with German tanks and American tanks in to help Ukraine, Russia's gonna take that as a threat and they're going to go to war with NATO, which we support NATO, which means that we are actually going to be in the crossfires. So makes me believe that the gun legislation is aligned for the next lineup. Whatever that lineup is, what's the next agenda, this is tied to it, which means that another country is going to have a huge investment, which they already do in our country, and they're going to take over our government at some point in a more of a backdoor way where they're not going to tell us, but we're being ran, possibly by Putin or the Prime Minister of China. And part of the deal is whatever money backyard deal they swung with them, they don't want the U.S. people to be armed. Because I can tell you, the Chinese people and all of them, they over here getting armed when they come off there first, and they doing is buying guns because they live in countries where they couldn't buy guns. So pay attention. If you're not in a control, if you're in a control state and you do not own a gun or several guns, or at least the bare minimum. So here's my bare minimum. If you were in a control state, get you a bullpup shotgun. Okay. Capacity is endless on this thing. I can put 15 2 3/4 shells in here, or I can put 22 minis. Okay. I can load this thing with slugs, buckshot, birdshot, or minis. Get you one of these. Great. Now I tricked this thing out. I put this howitzer muzzle brake on there. You see what I'm saying? I can put this charging handle on here so you don't have to have your hand right there. It may slip forward and blast your hand off. Dagger defense, red dot, flashlight. I do got iron sights. They do co-witness with that. I do like that. Shell carrier. Reduction pad for the recoil. Talon grips. Brass deflector. So I put a lot of upgrades on here. Selector switch. Followers. So this thing is decked out. Okay. And it's very light and it's awesome. So get you one of these while you can, and get you one of these. So you get this, and you get these three. I'll say get those three, start there. I say start there, and if you don't have a pistol, get you a Glock 19. Let that be your first pistol. Don't listen to nobody. Let this be your first pistol. Get you a Glock 19, okay? 9mm. So that's what I would do, you guys. If you don't own a gun, get those three. Me personally, I'm a big caliber guy. I like the 45. This is an awesome gun. And like the 10 mil. So that's what I would do, guys. If you're in California, go ahead, arm up, get the bare minimum. You don't have to be this shotgun, but just get you any kind. But I would suggest get a bullpup because they might try to come for these eventually because they hold more than 6-7 shots. So get you one of those, get you a nice long gun. And the reason why you want a long gun, guys, I'm gonna be traveling with my long gun when I drive long places from here on out, because if you encounter some whack shit, who knows what it's gonna be, you pin down and you can get to high ground or something like that, this ain't gonna help you. They gonna still come up on you. But I'll tell you, one of these whiz by them from 300 yards away when they thought they had you locked in, they gonna think twice. They gonna think twice. So, got to get you a good long gun. And especially if you own a farm or you live on property and something like that, you got some open property, you got to have your long gun. That's how you keep people at bay. This will keep them at bay. And if they get past that, you got this. And then if they get past that, you got that. And then if they get past that, you always can just hold down the fort with this. Okay. So you gotta have a combination, guys. You can't just have one. Not with these savages these days. You gotta have a nice little bit around you so you can keep them at bay. Okay, and don't slip on. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If you got kids, now this is my M&P 1522 22 LR. It looks just like my AR. That was the point. If someone says that, that was the point. So I got the same platform in a 22. You see what I'm saying? So same platform, but it's 22. No recoil. So you can have this for like your son or something. Hey, say stay right here, son, and then you give him the 22, hold it down, and don't discredit 22. That will put a hole in you. I never see nobody step in front of a 22 and say, "Oh man, that's a little tiny round." No, this is to lay you down too. So always have you a 22. Okay. So I know this went a little long, guys, but I just want to address those issues and stuff like that. And also, if you have a concealed carry permit, you need to have what is it called? Self-defense insurance. Because if you have an attorney, I'm pretty sure your regular attorney doesn't know anything about litigating a self-defense shooting. So you need to look into that, get some insurance, and so that way when something happens, you have an attorney that is specialized in that category, and you can retain those like kind of a prepaid legal type thing. They have you go on the internet and find a bunch of them. You can just pay a little bit monthly, like $20, $30 a month to retain one, $100 a year, something like that. So it's not really expensive. And that way, if you ever have to use it, you got the insurance, and you call that attorney. Boom, he's right down there. They usually know the DA. They usually know the sheriff because they ex-law enforcement guys. So they gonna work for you. So don't forget about that. Know all your gun laws in every state. When you travel from state to state, they're not all the same. Again, in restricted states like New York and California, DC, and places like that. The beautiful part, if you can get it concealed in our states, they usually are good in every state because it's so hard to get one. That's the good side. Whereas let's say you got a concealed permit in Iowa, California might not accept that shit. They might be like, man, who gave you that? Like, just like Texas, they have constitutional carry, so there's no permits in Texas. So Texans are screwed. If they ever have to lead a state, they don't have nothing to be legal with. Everything's illegal. Their state is illegal nationwide almost in a lot of states. Well, that's not necessarily true because I think don't quote me guys, but I think is it like over 40 states have constitutional carry or 30 states? It's quite a few. It's not that many. So it's a lot of them you don't have to worry about. But I know when you go in Nevada, you got to make sure yours cross over. Utah, you got to make sure yours cross over. Arizona don't give a shit. They like Texas almost. Matter of fact, it's on their books that you can't. If you're in Arizona, like a person can't, the law officer cannot ask you, can't ask you, do you have a gun? That's how gun-friendly Arizona is. The governor put that on the books that the police officer cannot ask you if you have a gun when they pull you over. So, but hey guys, that's why I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna get out of here. Again, stay armed, stay safe. Always have your eyes and ears. 2A community, support each other. Everybody come together. Don't let this stuff break us apart. Stay positive. Gun tubers, please do not get really over political unless you got facts, and don't get into the race baiting and all that stuff. Don't let that happen, because gun 2A is everybody. So we don't need to be like the rest of these clowns over here arguing over some stupid stuff. All we're trying to promote is get everybody armed, because that'll help the cause. Okay, everybody get armed, get trained, get on paperwork. Don't be afraid to speak on it, and we'll be fine. So again, everybody, enjoy the rest of your work week. It's your boy Ice, and there's Tactical. Be safe, be armed, be smart about it. Respect the 2A community, and you guys have a glorious week. Peace.